Good evening and welcome. I'm Selena Mead with the Vsb TV 11 Evening News on this Monday, July the 14th. And our top story tonight, PLP leader Mark Bean has issued a call to all members of the community, regardless of their politics, race or faith or walk of life, to come together on Tuesday evening and stand up to protect democracy in Bermuda. He invites them to stand together at the North Shore entrance of Government House to peacefully protest the governor's decision not to agree to a commission of inquiry be set up to investigate historic losses in Bermuda of citizen properties through theft, dispossession, and adverse claims. Mr. Bean said the decision was for the lawmakers and not an unelected governor whose stance was an affront to democracy. In other news, a firearm was discharged near the Mid-Atlantic Boat Club around midnight earlier today, but there were no reported injuries. The gunshots were reported by North Shore, Devonshire residents, and forensic evidence was collected, leading to an active investigation. Police are appealing for witnesses or anyone who may have seen suspicious persons or vehicles in the North Shore Road, Devonshire area, near the club, to contact the main police telephone number at 295-0011. Over the weekend, one person was arrested on suspicion of impaired driving, and 16 were arrested for outstanding warrants. Premier Michael Dunkley will be meeting for the first time tomorrow his fellow Overseas Territory leaders when he travels to the Cayman Islands for the UK Overseas Territory Heads of Government pre-joint Ministerial Council meeting. Areas of focus at this year's meeting center on security, economic development, and general discussion regarding the relationship between overseas territories and the UK. The meeting is a precursor for the upcoming Overseas Territories Joint Ministerial Council meetings to be hosted by the UK government in December, and Mr. Dunkley said he welcomed the opportunity to share discussion with other overseas territory leaders. The Premier, who returns to the island on Thursday, will be accompanied by the Secretary to the Cabinet, Dr. Derek Bentz. Groundbreaking ceremonies took place on the weekend for Bermuda's newest hotel. We have the update from VSB's Charles Webb.
What is considered to be one of the most breathtakingly beautiful areas in Bermuda will soon become even more beautiful when it's the location of a 40-room boutique hotel. Demolition of the Pink Beach Club is well underway, and if all goes according to plan, the hotel will be seen as a first-class addition to our overall visitor experience. With panoramic views of the South Shore and nestled in a quiet section of the island, the new Pink Beach Club, if indeed that's what it's to be called, will be a hospitality winner. Saudis Developments Limited representative Stephen King joined the Premier, the Minister of Tourism, and the Minister of Home Affairs in Saturday's groundbreaking event. All good and welcome news for our tourism aspirations. For VSB News, I'm Charles Webb.
Thank you, Charles. Starting off in style, a sellout fundraising banquet here for the acute care wing of the King Edward Hospital and a millionaire's dinner in New York for Americans with a soft spot for Bermuda are just two of the events that have been held recently to help the Bermuda Hospital Charitable Trust reach its $40 million target. Chief Executive Officer Ralph Richardson is grateful for the support, but believes that everyone involved in the community needs to get involved.
We had a full house, and everyone who came was there because they wanted to contribute to the hospital program. But I think it would be remiss if I did not thank the Greens for hosting the event and Marcus Samuelson for also participating.
Roughly how much will you make from that one occasion?
We don't know. The hotel will actually, the family will let us know at the end when everything's tallied up, and so we'll be getting a check from there. But I have to mention that this event for the Green family was just a continuation of their support. Yes. So I just wanted to mention they are major contributors and supporters of the hospital as well.
Now there's a wonderful rumor going around that Mr. Bloomberg of New York fame is also very keen to help.
Yes, just a few weeks ago, Mayor Bloomberg was kind enough to host an event in New York for about 70 participants, most of them Americans who have contacts with Bermuda in some way. Many of them had lived here in the past, many of them had run businesses here, but they had a strong Bermuda connection, and it was an absolute success. We had, as far as the event was concerned, like I said, there were 70 people there. And our Premier was there, and he, along with Phil Butterfield, the chairman of our U.S. charity, Jerry DeSimpere, was there. They spoke, as well as the mayor. He spoke and gave an incredible speech about wellness in general and the event and the new facility here in Bermuda. And he challenged all of his friends who were there to give a significant contribution to the event. What was a surprise to us was the incredible interest that people have in Bermuda, and wellness in particular. And what we did in New York was not just launch the ability for Americans to give and receive tax recognition through a 501c3 charity. In fact, it's called the Bermuda Wellness Foundation, and that's a message we want to get out today, that there are thousands of Americans living here that would like to make a contribution. And we wanted them to know that if they go to our website, the BermudaWellnessFoundation.com, and they can then make a contribution and receive tax recognition for that.
Surrounded by islands that have lost 50% of the coral on their reefs over the years, Bermuda is in the happy position of being able to report that its reefs are healthy, that the fish abound, and that conditions are even improving. This was the news brought forth to Parliament by Environment Minister Jean Atherton following the publication of a major report on the state of the world's reefs.
The main findings of the report is that the amount of coral on reefs in the Caribbean region has declined by an average of 50% as a result of many different factors, including overfishing, diseases, pollution, and the effects of increasing water temperatures associated with climate change. However, there is a message of hope because a detailed look at the data shows wide variations in reef health that can be linked to the way in which the marine environment is managed at the local level. Mr. Speaker, Bermuda was highlighted as one of 7 locations where coral cover remained stable or improved over the study period. The good health of our coral reefs is of particular interest because Bermuda has one of the highest population densities of all the locations studied, coupled with large numbers of tourists for the size of the island, and these factors were generally associated with degraded reefs. The report's authors credit the fish pot ban in 1990 and the listing of parrotfishes as protected species in 1993 as the key management measures that have promoted healthy herbivorous fish population that keep seaweeds on the reef under control and allow the corals to flourish. Bermuda's conservative approach to coastal development was also continued.
We live in a beautiful environment. One way to help keep it that way is to always remember your reusable grocery bag. If you forgot, you can still do your part in saving our planet by buying a Marketplace green bag for only $1.19. Not only are they good for groceries, but they're handy for many other uses. Always have your bags in sight of you or put your grocery list in one so that you don't forget your reusable bags. You and the Marketplace are helping to save the environment by choosing to reuse.
A gentle reminder from the Office of the Tax Commissioner. It's tax time again. Taxpayers are reminded that payroll tax returns and corporate service tax returns for the quarter ending 30th of June 2014 are due on or before Tuesday, 15th of July 2014. Hotel occupancy tax returns for the month ended 30th of June 2014 are also due on or before Tuesday, 15th of July 2014. Full payment must accompany returns, otherwise penalties will apply. Taxpayers who are currently eligible for payroll tax relief under the retail, restaurant or hotel concessions must also file completed returns on or before the deadline. For more information, www.taxbermuda.gov.bm or call 297-7807, 297-7750 or 297-7751. Making your taxes a little less taxing.
Loss of employment has become a very real possibility in today's economic climate. How prepared are you? Ask yourself, how long realistically will I be out of work? How long will my savings keep me afloat? Don't wait until it happens. Prepare now as if it will.
A message from Consumer Affairs. For help with personal finances, visit ca.gov.bm.
Welcome back to Vsb TV 11. After 6 years at the helm as CEO of Digicel Bermuda, Wayne Keynes has relinquished the post to the company's commercial director, Alistair Beek, and has been appointed non-executive vice chairman of the board. Speaking about his time leading Digicel Bermuda, Wayne Keynes said it had been a great 6 years and that in time the company had achieved a number of significant milestones, including the launching of 4G and Digicel Business. Looking to the future, he said that the time was right for him to move on to some new opportunities, although he would be remaining with the Digicel family as a non-executive vice chairman. Let's take a look at the daily markets presented by Bias.
And here are the daily markets presented by Bias. Global equity markets rose on Monday as investors put aside concerns about Eurozone banks and turned their focus to a fresh round of merger and acquisition activity. In the U.S., stocks rose on an increase in takeover activity in the Citigroup Incorporated earnings. The Dow Jones Industrial Average earned 0.66% higher at 17,055 points. The S&P 500 closed up 0.48% at 1,977. Today on the Bermuda Stock Exchange, 7,600 shares of Ascendant Group traded at $6.35, 12,400 shares of Argus Group traded at $3.90, 100 shares of BF&N traded at $16.81, and 2,066 shares of Bank of NT Butterfield traded at $1.99. European equities rose on Monday, rebounding from near two-month lows, led by a rally in banks. The FTSE 100 rose 0.84% to 6,746. Germany's DAX advanced 1.21% to 9,783. Asian markets ended higher on Monday. Japan's Nikkei average closed 0.88% higher at 15,297 points, led by retail buying of small and medium-cap stocks and speculative buying of index futures. Latin American equity markets advanced, with the Vsb advancing the most among major global benchmarks. Brazil's Bovespa raised 1.77% to 55,755 points. Treasuries dropped from an almost 5-week high as investors await clarity on the central bank's plan to scale back monetary stimulus and raise interest rates next year. The benchmark 10-year yield rose 3 basis points to 2.55%. The Japanese yen dropped for the first time in 3 days against the U.S. dollar as the Bank of Japan started a 2-day policy meeting. And that was a look at the daily markets presented by Bias. People and Places are next after the break.
Price Right on Mill Reach offers you warehouse shopping for bulk and value-priced groceries, frozen foods and health and beauty items, home furnishings, dinnerware and carpets for your bedroom, bathroom, and kitchen, bikes, toys, and activity sets for kids, teens and tweens, electronics and home and audio-visual accessories. Visit Price Right. Always something new and always something for everyone. Open 8 till 8, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7 p.m. on Sundays.
Are you frustrated and confused by complex online banking systems? The quickest, easiest way to pay bills is with EasyPay.
They're very good. They're excellent. I'd recommend them all the time. EasyPay is the easy way.
The whole reason I joined EasyPay is because of what the name stands for. It's very easy to pay.
I've been using EasyPay for over 10 years. It really is an easy product to use.
Bill payment doesn't get any easier than EasyPay. Email Dal at easypay.bm or visit easypay.bm.
Biggie Irie and Splash Band are coming to Bermuda. Biggie Irie and Splash Band at the Peace Day concert, September 19th. All tickets 10% off before July 31st.
People and Places is next with Charles Webb.
People and Places with Charles Webb is brought to you by Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
The Government House Children's Kitchen Garden is a project rather like an outdoor classroom, where school teachers, para, and garden club mentors bring a new meaning to learning at an early age. Margaret Ferguson, wife of Bermuda's Governor, George Ferguson, initiated the project in Bermuda and explains the concept.
Well, the Government House Children's Kitchen Garden started pretty much as soon as we arrived in Bermuda, which is nearly 2 years ago now. I'd read a magazine article about what Michelle Obama had done with the White House garden, and I took one look at the garden here and thought, we can do that. And I got wonderful help from Alan Douglas, from the gardeners at Government House. I showed him the magazine article. I put him a little bit on his mettle and said, you know, I'm sure we could do this too. And he really stepped up. It was fantastic. And the key ingredients really were to involve the 3 local primary schools, Northlands, West Pembroke, Victor Scott, who are immediately on our border. And to invite the schools basically to have a kitchen garden, to do whatever they wanted with it, but basically to learn skills about how to grow vegetables and then how to cook those vegetables in a way that, you know, children would enjoy doing, and to get the message across that food comes from gardens.
What sort of response did you get from the children?
Amazing response from the children, and surprising too.
The main objective is to learn, but have fun along the way. So they learn a lot about science, about the botany of plants. Nutrition is another aspect. And what better way to learn than the great outdoors?
And do they learn this willingly?
Most definitely. We haven't had to cross anyone's hands behind their backs. They come willingly, and by Wednesday afternoon, they're ready to go at that point in time. So it's a really awesome experience for them.
Government House gardeners Granville Outerbridge and Mark Swan spend most of their time tending to the manicured beds of flowers and trimming hedges in the 45-acre grounds. But working with children?
Well, I find that even as much as it's a learning experience for the kids, it's also a learning experience for myself in the instructional part of it. So just as they're brand new, in that aspect I'm a little brand new myself.
I enjoy it because it's very fun and the gardens are very nice, and you could learn a lot about gardening here at Gardening Club. Here you get to explore, you get to see different plants, you get to take home stuff. At school you're just sitting behind a desk doing paper.
For the most part it's an outdoor lesson, so there's a certain structure to coming here. But they've used the learning in all kinds of ways. You can estimate the distance between plants. You know, you can use maths, you can do all kinds of stuff from it. I think the real value for me is having one-on-one interaction between children and adults. So we've got mentors from the Garden Club, we've got people passing on skills, but it's an adult saying to a child, I value you enough to spend time with you, and that's worth everything.
Now, when all these vegetables are harvested, do they end up on the governor's dining table?
No, you try taking them away from the children who've grown them. They know exactly what they've grown, and they harvest and they take them away and they cook them themselves.
Here at the Government House Children's Kitchen Garden, for People and Places, I'm Charles Webb, Vsb News.
People and Places with Charles Webb has been brought to you by Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
Now at Big Savings Zone, there's the Kids Zone. See the latest bedroom ideas for tots to teens. There's a large selection of beds, bedding, all kind of furniture designed especially in mind for your child. And see the array of accessories for all ages. Big Savings Zone is the home of Ashley Furniture and Serta Mattresses in Bermuda. And the Kids Zone is only at Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
Hi, I'm Peter Juretic, host of Season to Taste. Tune in on Tuesday night during the Vsb Tv 11 News where I'll be here with Chef Tammy Jones. She's going to be preparing this beautiful dish of blackened snapper with a summer fruit salsa, and find out from Stefan what the Godwin's wine of the week is.
Tuesday, during the Vsb TV 11 News.
Welcome back. Let's check in with Earl Basin to see what he has to say about sports.
The FIFA World Cup came to an end yesterday in Brazil, with Germany becoming the first European team to lift the trophy in South America after defeating Argentina 1-0 after extra time. The 2014 Junior Caribbean Squash Championships got underway at the Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club with several games on tap. Taking a look at some of the Bermuda results, the under-13 boys first round saw Matthew Elliott defeat Teo Lambert 11-6, 11-8, 11-9. Oscar Lindsay got by Shane White 11-13, 11-7, 8-11, 11-9, 11-7. In boys under 15 first round action, Nicholas Caddy from Trinidad defeated Cameron Coffey from Bermuda 11-4, 11-love, 11-2. Alex Cheeks from Guyana defeated Sam Morris from Bermuda 11-love, 11-3, 11-love. Olivia Lindsay won her first round match in the girls under 15 with a 11-7, 11-1, 11-4 victory over Sarah Lewis from Guyana. Ty Williams from Bermuda defeated Alicia White from Barbados 11-love, 11-8, 11-3 in girls under 17 action. On Saturday up at the Southampton Oval, the Southampton Rangers defeated Willowcotts by 8 wickets in the second round of the Western County Cup competition. Southampton Rangers won the toss and sent Willowcotts to bat, bowling them all out for 60. Dexter Basin was the top scorer with 15 from 70 deliveries. Derek Brangman was the pick of the Southampton Rangers bowlers with 7.4 overs, 5 maidens, 4 wickets for 6 runs. In reply, Brangman scored 43 not out, guiding Southampton Rangers to victory, losing 2 wickets in the process. Western Stars won the Central County Cup competition by 19 runs over Devonshire Recreation Club. Scores: Western Stars 144 all out, Devonshire Recreation Club 125 all out. Cleveland County won the Junior Eastern County match. They scored 114 all out, and then bowled St. David's Cricket Club all out for 81. In Premier Division cricket, Somerset Cricket Club won by 6 runs over St. David's Cricket Club. Scores: Somerset Cricket Club 226 for 7, St. David's Cricket Club 220 all out. Baylis Bay won by 55 runs over Willowcotts. Scores: Baylis Bay 276 for 8, Willowcotts 221 all out. Southampton Rangers won by 164 runs against St. George's Cricket Club. Scores: Southampton Rangers 242 all out and St. George's Cricket Club 78 all out. The 2014 fitted dinghy racing season continued in Grenaway Deep with Contest 3, skippered by Peter Miller, winning all 3 races on the day. Contest 3 won the A.S. Cooper Cup, White's Island Cup, and the Perot's Island Trophy. In the day's first race, Miller sailed to a first-place finish with Challenger 2, sailed by Martin Finnegan, finishing in second. Mark Soar, sailing Victory 4, finished in third, and John Nichols and his crew aboard Elizabeth 2 finished in fourth. The Bermuda Amateur Swimming Association held the Bermuda National Open Water Championships yesterday. Philip Hagan and Emma Harvey are the 5K male and female champions. Hagan crossed the line in a time of 1 hour, 16 minutes and 49 seconds. Harvey finished third overall with a time of 1:21:03. Jesse Washington and Ashley Yearwood swam to victory in the 1500-meter race, while Britton Mosley and Jesse Marshall won the 400-meter race. The Bermuda Bicycle Association held the Social Cycle Short Track Time Trial, where Madison Digicel rider Dominique Mayo won the male open division with a time of 22:48. Neil de St. Croix won the male veteran race with a time of 23:41. Nicole Mitchell won the open female race with a time of 25:42. Heather Rope won the female veteran race in a time of 29:12. The Bermuda Powerboat Association held racing in the St. George's Harbor with a total of 9 boats going to the start line. Gregory Fouquet won the A-Class National Race, with Mark Sally and Jordan Fletcher winning the FB-Class National Race. Stephen Aversley and Brendan Franks won the D-Class National Race, with the S-Class National Race going to Chakai Easton and Derek Seymour. I'm Earl Baston reporting for VSB Sports.
That should do it. Enjoy your new shower.
Experience the bold look of Kohler at a Kohler registered showroom.
Outlast any storm with the most advanced alkaline battery. This weather segment is brought to you by Duracell Quantum.
Well, sunny, humid, and hotter than Satan's steam room. I'm Shea Barker, and this is your weather. Let's take a look at our weather shots for today. Today's first shot taken by Lorenzo Lambert. This is taken last night over Horseshoe Bay, and you can see the moon rising off in the distance. The clouds were almost all gone. Just a nice night, a little humid, but it was actually very pleasant to be out and about. I do wish I had gotten my way down to Horseshoe, though. It looks like a good time. Thanks to Lorenzo Lambert for sending this one in. Our second shot, Russell Eddy, taken at 3 p.m. at Warwick, and you can see this is the kind of day it was. A little bit of cloud cover in the area, but it was very humid, very hot, and very nice if you're visiting. Just a great day. Thanks to Russell for sending this in. Our highs and lows for today, well, we saw 84 our high temperature, but it felt much hotter than that to me. 1 p.m., our low, 79 degrees at 7 a.m. this morning, so it's barely under 70 and the coldest temperature. 81 is our current condition. We're looking at a humidity of 75%, winds out of the south-southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and the barometric pressure is dropping at 30.19 inches. Our rainfall index, we saw a trace today. Didn't see any of it my way, but the month so far, 0.89 inches. Total for the year, 27.53 inches, and you can see we're falling off still more of that 28.81 inches we'd have normally seen. Take a look at our satellite map. Well, a few showers will approach late tonight as a trough kind of approaches off from the southeast. Winds and showers will increase on Tuesday morning with a chance of thunder arriving late on Tuesday afternoon. Now, these conditions should continue through Wednesday, when then high pressure will then chase those showers away right through Thursday. In the gateway cities, thunderstorms are likely in 85 degrees in Atlanta. 84 and rain is likely in Boston. Thunderstorms are likely at 88 in Charlotte. London mostly cloudy and 76 degrees. 89 and mostly cloudy in Miami. Thunderstorms in 86 in New York. Orlando mostly cloudy and 93. If you're noticing a pattern, thunderstorms are likely and 89 in Philadelphia. Toronto, thunder showers and 75. And Washington, guess again, thunderstorms are likely at 89 degrees. For tonight, we're looking at a low temperature of around 79 degrees, partly to mostly cloudy. A few showers, mainly later on. Winds out of the south-southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and they will decrease overnight to 8 to 12 knots. For tomorrow, we're looking at a high temperature of around 83 degrees. Sunny periods, a few showers, and a chance of thunder late in the afternoon. Winds out of the south-southeast at 12 to 18 knots. They will increase to 15 to 20 knots by the evening, and then come out of the south at 18 to 22 knots later on. So you will see some higher gusts, too, in those storms. For Mariners tonight, there are no warnings in effect. Seas inside the reef 1 foot, seas outside the reef 3 to 5 feet. Your sea temperature, 83 beautiful degrees. For Mariners tomorrow, there are no warnings in effect. Seas inside the reef 1 to 2 feet. Seas outside 3 to 6 feet, so a little choppier. Low tide will be at 5:39 a.m., but your high tide, 11:36 a.m. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Well, pretty consistent for the week. Tuesday, sunny periods, few showers, a chance of thunder in the late afternoon, high of 83. Wednesday, sunny breaks, a few to occasional showers, and a chance of thunder, high of 83. Thursday, a sunny periods, a few showers, 1 or 2 overnight, high of 83 again. Friday, a mix of sun and clouds, 1 or 2 early morning showers, jumps up a degree to 84. And on Saturday, mix of sun and clouds, high of 83. I'd like to thank Michelle Pitcher and the Bermuda Weather Service for all their help. Special shout out to all my friends at Bermuda Customs down at the airport. They gave me a lot of love and an extra gentle pat down. Thanks a lot for that. Here's your bad joke of the day. I tried to eat a clock once. It was time consuming. That's it for me. I'll see you again real soon.
Outlast any storm with the most advanced alkaline battery. Today's weather forecast was brought to you by Duracell Quantum.
We thank you for choosing to spend your evening with us at Vsb Tv 11. Have a great rest of week. Good night, Bermuda.
Outfit for Shea Barker, provided by Alexander at the English Sports Shop.
Vsb TV 11, Bermuda.